So, the Tao of Pooh, I don't even remember how I found this book. I think this might have been my little brother recommended it to me. He was into Taoism for a little bit, and I think he was the one that recommended it. So I went with it, read it, and it ended up being a really good book. It's a really short read, which I give it pretty high marks for. As far as pros for the book go, it's got a lot of really good lessons and really does use Winnie the Pooh in an excellent and very entertaining way to teach you about Taoism. There's a scene from the movie Road Trip that I always remember where this kid is trying to teach a guy about philosophy, and the guy's like, "You can teach." The friend looks at his friend who's trying to learn philosophy and says, "Okay, what do you enjoy? What are you interested in?" He's like, "I like WWF." He's like, "Wrestling, great. I can teach you philosophy in 2 hours using wrestling." The whole aspect of teaching somebody, the important aspect of teaching somebody is finding a reference point. Okay. So if you know a lot about wrestling, I can take what you know about wrestling and use that as a reference for showing you what you don't know about philosophy. And that always stuck with me because it's so fucking true. You can teach anybody anything so long as you can find a reference point from what they already know. If you're a car guy and you want to learn about philosophy, there's a way to take the concept of a car and turn it into philosophy, right? And this guy uses Winnie the Pooh, a very common reference point for a lot of people in life, even people I never really watched Winnie the Pooh growing up. It was before my time. And I still know who all the characters are. And so that is a great reference point for teaching people about Taoism. And he takes really important concepts of Taoism and distills them in a very easy to understand and very entertaining way that other spirituality books just have a hard time doing because the material is too dense, it's not enjoyable, it's too bland, too academic. This guy takes the exact same concepts and makes them, Benjamin Hoff, the writer of this book, and makes them really easy to understand and easy to remember. That's the importance of finding that reference point, is when you can teach somebody something using a reference point, it's much easier for them to remember, right? And it gets easy to remember what you learn in the Tao of Pooh, because as long as you know who Winnie the Pooh characters are, you're going to remember it. You're going to remember what's in the book, and more or less, yeah, like I said, I do want to go back and reread the book, because it's been a long time, 7, 8 years, but even after 7, 8 years, I still remember what these characters represent. And I still remember what some of the highlights were to me that stood out, because I have that reference point. So that is a big, huge pro to this book too. This book really does a great job of teaching you otherwise difficult material to understand. And it is a really entertaining book and a really short read that has a lot of really interesting and good lessons. And I think those lessons are so beautifully encapsulated in using the different characters in the story to show these different aspects of human personality and to show from the stories, because each chapter is a story about Winnie the Pooh and his friends going out and doing something. And it illustrates how each one of these characters, what their potential flaw is, or how they're essentially not Wu Wei. They're not being Tao enough, right? When compared to Winnie the Pooh, anyways. And so clear examples, really fun examples to read, really easy to understand, and really good lessons in there that are fun to hear about because you're just hearing a fun little child's story and it's really enjoyable. And so it's much more relaxed than I would say out of all four of these books. This book is probably the easiest to read. Only second, Mark Manson's book is a close second because it's so funny, which makes it easy to read. But it's easier to read than The Power of Now, which tends to be a little bit thick and chock full of information and a little boring at times. And Extreme Ownership, which is a little more in your face, right? Extreme Ownership, again, has a very easy to understand layout with its almost military like standard directive boom, 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 boom. This is the way you do things. But the Tao of Pooh is easy to understand because it itself is a simple book. It's seeking to be a simple book. That's kind of the whole point of Taoism, is simplicity in life, right? So whether or not this book helps you, to kind of go into some pros and cons, whether or not this book helps you in kind of a self-help journey kind of way, helps you understand things in life, really it depends on you. It depends on if you're the kind of person that Taoism is good for.